Hey, it's us once again. I'm JT. I got my homeboy with me. Say something might be.
What it do?
And we're here.
Excuse me.
You ain't getting sick on
Go ahead. I thought I was over it, but
you ain't over?
No, I'm not feeling good. Go ahead.
See, I just got over being sick, brother. I can't be double back on extra sickness.
Don't blame me.
Don't blame you, but I can't blame you if you the one that's if you the one that's sick.
Well, ain't what we talking about.
It ain't what we talking about. Iyanla, Fix My Life. We got a new character to the show. Leandria Johnson, gospel artist, and she's here for Iyanla to fix her life. Who called the show was her I guess her friend Phil. He's part of her record company. I guess her manager somewhat. Oh well, I guess not somewhat. He is. But he's here. And asked to fix Leandria's life. Okay, now, brother.
I'm sorry.
No,
go ahead. Don't bring no attention to it.
No, cause I'm hearing you and I'm seeing you.
He's her label manager. He's the one. He's the one who reached out to Iyanla.
He contacted her, to fix Leandria's life. And then we, she sits down with Leandria and try to find out, what's the cause of this.
Yeah, what's going on? And
what's
Phil
going on?
was saying that he thinks that she has a problem with alcohol.
He does. We seen the videos. She's been on YouTube and
she was trending
for lack of better words. She was showing her ass and basically saying, if you don't like it, so what? I'm although I'm a gospel artist, I'm human too. That was her. That was her thesis for her life at that point. And so we're here, and so we trying to figure out why she's doing the things she do, because that's the only impression I got. I'm really not a follower of her. I heard she's from what's the show off of BT? Sunday's Best.
Yep, Sunday's Best.
I guess she was a contestant and won on Sunday's Best, and that's where she got her stardom from. But every now and then you might see something on your social media, and she's on it, and she wasn't in church singing solos. She wasn't ministering. She was doing other things.
Cussing people out. Well, just sharing her experience.
Sure.
I knew Leandria from I knew Leandria from Sunday's Best, but also she was on a show I used to watch called I think it was Preachers of Detroit. And she's like one of those people who, you seem like the young, she always with the young kids, because that's who she's more relatable to. Yeah. And so her style was different. When you got all these bishops and everybody
she's in her
on
early
the show,
30s right now, right?
I don't even know how old she is.
Okay.
But she was different. And one thing that stood out on that show regarding her was she would go and minister, and she talked about this, and we saw her do it. She would go minister to like the prostitutes. But she was dressed like them. Like real seductive, tight clothes, and like go down there and like minister to them, pass out cigarettes.
You think that was her lure?
Her lure?
I mean, because
you think that may have lured her away from the gospel into the street?
No, you saying she said. I'm just asking you. Do you think that was her? Like
she said that you got to meet the people where they are.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, and I think it was controversial because people were saying you don't necessarily have to dress like that.
I believe
to go and minister.
You don't have to.
Yeah. But that was her thing. She was always a little bit different, always a little risque. So it didn't, when things started coming out about her making these YouTube videos to feel some type of way, I feel like the writing was on the wall, in my opinion.
Yeah, because every time I saw her, it seemed like she was inebriated. I'm like this.
When they said she was, drinking or whatever, I'm like, it all makes sense now. It makes sense.
I know why she's on Iyanla.
Yeah.
Because that's all I know from her. It's like she was somewhat drunk on her videos or felt some type of way and feeling and spewing her feelings out But that's what I know from I know I've heard of a few songs that she's got. Mm-hmm. But other than that, she's letting me know her personal life, and it haven't been tasteful. If you like that sort of thing. But she's there, and she asks and of course Iyanla asks, why you here? And she was talking about my drinking and.
But she doesn't think she has a problem.
She doesn't, but that's what
that's the part of the problem.
Say that she was like, I don't think I have a drink problem. When Iyanla said, well, you got a little monitor.
Yeah, your ankle monitor.
That says otherwise
for DUI.
You do DUI. So drinking is part of your life. Whatever you've been doing, it's impacting your life.
Mm-hmm. But it's hard for people to see that part because, like even Leandria said when Iyanla did the exercise, when we saw all the different alcohols on that little table, showing how much she's consuming daily. She was saying, I don't think I'm an alcoholic because I'm able to function. She said, I'm not, falling over.
She never heard of
functioning
alcohol?
Or anything like that. Iyanla said that's spoken like a true alcoholic.
Yeah, that's like a functioning alcoholic. Yeah. You can still do your business, but you say my.
But I feel like until you start to see the effects of what you're doing, you don't see the problem.
Well, she really relayed to us later on in the show, talking about where it kind of gets into my daily things, whatnot. She finally confessed, but yeah, but anyway, she had, like you said, they had the exercise of different things that I guess what brought her here to this point. Mm-hmm. And the number one thing she said, she was a gospel artist. Mm-hmm. And I think she said, I think one time, I guess in one of her rants, was saying like religion is bullshit and fuck the church. Mm-hmm. And like how did you get to that point? Right here and right now. And Iyanla was like, it may be true, but you came at it wasn't there. No,
Iyanla said you made valid.
Valid is true. Valid is true. The same difference, but yeah, valid is the word she used.
Like you had a valid. You made valid points.
Yes.
But I'm not going to say that what you're saying is true. And the problem was all the venom and the hatred and all the way you delivered the message. Mm-hmm. That became the problem.
Yeah, the people weren't going to accept it. Mm-hmm. How you came out. You can't say that when you stuttering and what's the word?
Drunk, inebriated.
Slurring.
Okay.
Slurring your words, and like, okay, now. Really?
So people know what's up, yeah.
This ain't from God. Click. I ain't got
But it's still shocking because of who it's coming from. We know her from the gospel realm.
Yeah.
From the church realm. And for her to be on here now speaking outwardly against the church, like, where did this come from? So, even though she was slurring and people don't want to, listen to her, you still wonder, like, how did we get here?
How do we? Mm-hmm. And she told us, she drinks to numb the pain, and she told us that her brother was killed in a car wreck, mm-hmm. and he's a young man, I think like 32 years old, mm-hmm. and so she felt some type of way.
I was confused as to Iyanla's response to that question, because when she said, she lost her brother, Iyanla was like, how long ago? She was like 2 years, and then she asked how old. She's like 32. It was almost as if Iyanla was saying, well, he wasn't no baby. And it was 2 years ago. You should be able to, be over it by now. That's how I took it. My impression of her response, and I didn't expect that from Iyanla. Maybe I misinterpreted it. Maybe I was wrong.
Well,
maybe I was wrong.
She might need more minutes, so who knows?
You would think Iyanla of all people would understand that you can't tell nobody how long they're supposed to grieve, and clearly Leandria is still having a problem. So 2 years wasn't enough.
I guess. Well, I've never been through that, having a sibling, die, mm-hmm. and so I wouldn't know how my grieving process might be. Damn near 10 years. I don't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, you never know. How she can determine mm-hmm. that, and also she asked her about I think she showed her a picture of herself. Mm-hmm. In the earlier years, ministering and stuff, like she was like, how would you minister to her? Mm-hmm. And she kind of broke down like I wouldn't even be able to minister to her, and you know what, and you know I basically I think she knows that she's an alcoholic.
Yeah, that's what I felt because
she don't want to come to terms with it,
or she doesn't want to speak it because she don't want to fix it. That's what I was getting.
You think she want to keep on drinking?
When she because when she was talking about the whole ministering, which you were just mentioning, she was saying, you know, I can't minister to myself, and so how should I feel obligated? When she said obligated to minister to other people, I thought that was an interesting choice of words.
You think she feels or people have said that she has a gift, you know, as far as ministering to people.
But I think she's a pastor.
She's a pastor.
She was on Preachers of Detroit.
I thought she was just like a guest or something. I didn't know
she was on the show.
One of the preachers.
She was
as Preacher of Detroit.
But she may be a minister of gospel, like music or something like that. I don't know. But I feel like at this point, it's a lot going on, but her job doesn't stop. The requests from people don't stop. And so instead of it being something that, you know, you feel like you're called to do and you want to do, it feels more like a job. And so I think that's why she said, you know, it feels like, you know, an obligation. So that could be leading to her trying to get a break and going and hitting the bottle.
I can see that, you know, because it is there.
Mm-hmm.
After she talks with her, that's pretty much, you know, her discussion with Iyanla at that point. And then we meet up with her brother, Terrence. That's his name. And he's basically another one of her handlers. Basically, whoever she interviewed with, to me, is like her handlers.
Leandria's?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, he's with her. She was like, you know, have you noticed, you know, your sister's drinking? And he was like, well, yeah. You know, I've said, you know,
he was trying to dance around it, too.
Oh, he
didn't want to admit it.
He was soft-torn the whole way through that little, you know, exchange.
He did not want to admit that.
He didn't want to, you know, shit like...
Iyanla was like, okay, it's your sister and an alcoholic, because you're beating around the bush. And he was like, well, you know, I could say... It's like, yeah, I would say she is. And, you know,
she'd be drinking, man.
Finally came to it.
Yeah.
We find out that, you know, both of their parents were preachers.
Yeah.
So, you know, growing up and having that type of pressure.
He said they were sheltered, and you know, basically, you know, they you know, if you're part of the black church experience, you know what PKs are, preachers' kids, and you know, usually they say they're the most, you know, wildest. You know, might get in trouble with the law. You know, they the bad seeds of a family, you know, just, you know, because of rebelling, you know, because you have to live up to, you know, some type of whatever the you know, because you're a
everybody's
kid.
Expectations,
of what a pastor kid is supposed to.
So everybody trying
to
determine what you can and what you can't do.
Yeah, and so I'm pretty sure you try to go the opposite. You know, try to be contrary
because you want to be your own person.
Yes, and show people that you're your own person. You know, so you might do something extra to validate what what you're doing. But anyway, you know, she asked him about that, and you know, he divulged to us that he was like, well, you know, I've been to AA. Her brother, you know, I've been to AA. She's like, what?
Like, I forgot that little phrase she said.
I wrote it. Ajavia. Whoever know that Ajavia, I've never heard of that.
And she said it like it was so common.
I'm like, that ain't American.
I don't think I've heard her say it on the show before.
No,
maybe something she just picked up.
She should put it in black screen and white letters. and then the description of what it is.
What it is.
You know, I would have felt better, but she said that term, and he was like, yeah, I've been to AA. He was like, not for alcohol. So what? You know, you needed to tell her
because she
so
was wondering,
have, you know, a
if
connection.
He would be willing to go with Leandria to support her. He's like, you know, I've been before, and that's when we find out that Leandria doesn't know about it, and I don't think they were even clear on the actual reason he was going.
Now, because he said it wasn't for alcohol.
It wasn't for alcohol, and
so only thing I can think of is drugs.
But they got an anonymous for that.
Ain't gambling. Is that what they call it?
Narcotics Anonymous. Ain't that for drugs?
I'm not a narcotic or an alcoholic might be.
Okay.
I don't, you know.
Okay.
I don't know those terms.
But he was willing, to go with her, to support her. And Iyanla was saying how, excuse me, I'm sorry, that would be, really good. Because when you're going through something like that and you're taking moments to just waste away basically by drinking, then you probably feel like you're in this thing alone. So coming out of it, if you don't have a support system, then you're less likely to be successful, less likely to even try. Especially when you got so many people around you like Leandria does who depend on you financially. And that was another issue that came out on the episode, was the fact that she got, the business manager who feels like they're friends. She got the booking agent who feels like, they're friends, but they have this professional relationship that Iyanla pointed out that are meshed too much. Because professionally, I understand you wanting to hide some of this stuff from the public so it doesn't affect her career, because you depend on that career as well. But then when it comes to being a friend...
Phil, at the end of the show, Phil, she had the discussion with... Iyanla had the discussion with Phil, and he's basically saying what you saying. She was like, as a friend, what you say, okay, I'm here.
She wanted him to talk to Leandria first as a business person, then as a friend.
I thought she did the friend first. And then, she told him, he said, as a friend, I want you to get help. Uh-huh. She sat down with Leandria and Phil, and he was like, I want you to get help and whatnot. I care about you. Mm-hmm. And Iyanla's like, basically, what's the bottom line with you as a man? Now talk as a manager, the record company. He's like, well, I give you 60 days, to straighten up and curb your drinking. And she was like, well, it was almost like court. She was lobbying. 60 days. She's just fresh off her
she hasn't even started her recovery yet.
How about 90? I don't know how 30 extra days.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna say 9 months.
She gave it 30 damn near more days, and to clean her act up. And he was like, "Well, okay, 90. If you don't straighten up, we basically gonna cancel your contract. We're gonna terminate it." And and she looked at Leandria. Thank you, because I was
the name wasn't coming.
It wasn't coming. I don't know. And she was like, I know these terms, She basically made her say, if I don't do this, this is going to happen. And so that's pretty much where she left us this episode.
Wait, before no, we gotta talk about.
I can't get pissed off yet.
You ready? I see it.
I was,
but that moment where Leandria was having kind of like doubts or. She
was contemplating.
Yeah, maybe leaving the
she
show
was outside,
and not going through with the process.
And contemplating. I don't know. And then Iyanla's one of her psychiatrists came, and what was her name?
I didn't write her name down. I know what she said. She was a coach of
Denora.
Okay,
tell her what she said, maybe.
She was while Leandria was contemplating possibly leaving and not going through with the process, because she acknowledged that everything Iyanla had said to her was true. Yeah, but she wasn't accepting it. And so as she was talking about all of this, the doctor was saying, I hear a lot of judgment in your voice, and that's still part of what we need to heal. So we still got work to do, trying to encourage her to stay and continue with the process. Next thing we know, we hear Iyanla coming down. It was almost like a Easter play. Coming down, and Iyanla was preaching.
I was thinking a whole different. I was thinking of Poltergeist.
Oh,
with the old preacher.
Oh, where they're trying to cast out the.
No, God is it. Have you seen Poltergeist?
Oh, it's a specific movie. No, I think I have.
Yeah, Poltergeist is a movie.
Is that the Get Away from the Light, Caroline, or something like that?
Yeah, Caroline.
Okay.
Caroline, yeah. And the old preacher was like, God is in His holy temple. It was just like he was just coming down the street. Mm-hmm. And Iyanla come down her Puritan outfit, and and quoting her scriptures. It was
That's what you thought.
I guess it was that's what I went to.
No, it looked like she was coming down the hall, the aisle.
But that's the guy. The guy was a preacher though on Poltergeist.
I can't speak to it.
Oh
so
yeah,
I don't know.
He had his Colonel Sanders tie, looking crazy. And Iyanla had her black and white Puritan outfit. Mm-hmm. That's what I got out of it.
She was telling her stuff like, lean not on your own understanding, honor God in all thy ways. He's the one who directs your path.
Yeah, she was pulling scripture.
His rod and staff, they comfort you, not the gospel industry, not the churches, not the minister. So she was trying to encourage her as well to honor her commitment to the healing process and not just give up in the middle of it because you heard some things that you probably aren't comfortable with, but acknowledge are true. And then you got all these people around you that keep
enabling her,
not saying anything. And that's
why I call her. That's why I call her handlers.
I know, but that was the point I wanted to make sure we made. Is if these people are supposed to be your friends because they kept acting like, we work together, but we're also friends. I feel like a brother. I feel like this.
Friends, man.
But if you're not telling your friend or your family member or somebody that you profess to love that you got a problem, and we see it manifesting in all these different areas,
man,
then that's not your friend.
And doing all
and you
this
cussing
mess.
out the church. You cussing out. I can understand cussing out church folk, but you're cussing out the institution, and maybe there is an issue there. But I feel like it still stems with the people.
I think old Phil is on here because she messing up the church's money.
Possibly because if she ain't recording,
because he told us what his ultimatum was.
Then,
I think once the contract ends, they friendship ends.
You think so?
Oh man, come on, really?
I don't know because I don't know the depths of their friendship.
I don't. I just
that's what
feel
you feel.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about Robert? You think that brotherhood is going to end if she fires him?
I think because if you're a brother,
Now Tim, not her real brother, the one he's her booking agent, but he says I'm not her brother.
Nah.
You think that
he handler? All on the handlers, man.
You don't think she got any genuine people around her? That's if you feel that way, that's part of the problem.
Nobody else is on the show. I don't know if she told anybody, if she was going on the show, but it's all business people
who's trying to get her back to making money.
Hey, you messing up our money. We need to get you, sober and doing this gospel thing
and singing again and ministering with the real spirit, not the bottled spirit.
Well, I don't know that. Just ministering. We need to get you back. To where we making money again.
Ministering is an obligation.
You messing up, you up here, for the church folk, you messing up our money. They gonna stop listening to you. That's my thoughts. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think they heart pure. That's just me. But you
might be right.
If she need to dig deep and find who
her real friends are.
Who her real friends are.
We may see some of her real friends next episode.
Who knows? To me, like I told my B, I thought this episode could have been done in an hour. They could have talked to them people with 5 minutes. The other people. Because right now, we just know she alcoholic. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. And we talk about her alcoholism. Mm-hmm. But and wasn't no work done.
We haven't done any work to.
Yeah, and
maybe part of the work was just getting her to see that you really do have a problem.
But we could have did that, and this is TV, might be. We could have did that in 30 minutes, man. And we up here talking to Phil and Robert and Terrence and whoever the cousin is or whoever her booking agent.
They got to paint the picture, brother.
No. That picture could have been painted in 5 minutes. She's an alcoholic. She's an alcoholic. She's an alcoholic. Okay. And we done with that.
Now we talk about
we talk about some real stuff. Mm-hmm. We wasting the hour to me of knowing what they said in the previews last week. We found out this show last week. Ain't nothing new. I didn't find out nothing new. And from her videos what she on. Mm-hmm. So it ain't nothing like I'm appalled. I haven't seen this before. Mm-hmm. I didn't know she was doing this. No, she, she's on it.
Yep.
She's showing you who she is.
Mm-hmm. Now it's time to change.
Now it's time to change.
Do some work.
You're messing up the church's money.
Mm-hmm.
Now
and Phil's money. And Robert's money.
It's getting real now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We about to drop you on our label. And now what? You doing chitlin circuits. Going around, different.
I think she'll still
churches.
Be able to, even if they drop her from her label, she'll be able to command an audience. Yeah, just off her
that's
name.
what I'm saying. You ain't gonna be doing the big
accolades.
Stuff, but you might get a hot $500,000 here and there.
I'll take a hot $500,000 here and there.
But that's because I'm your life,
$500,000 here and there.
No, I said 500 or 1,000.
Oh, I heard 500,000. That's why I said.
I wouldn't.
No.
You talking about?
I wouldn't be taking
that. Shouldn't be your
life.
life.
Of course I would do that. I don't need no record contract. 500,000, yes. Jesus is my best friend.
Wait a minute. What kind of money you making?
Yeah,
brother?
I'm talking about 500. No, might be. I'm talking about real people shit. Nah, 500
to
1,000. Not my what? She don't even need Iyanla. If she's making 500,000
she might need Iyanla because if you got that much money and you still have this addiction, because we still haven't fixed the addiction.
Yeah,
we haven't.
We have
500,000 people, millionaires die all over their addictions.
But they don't see Iyanla though. They rest on
you
the.
said she don't need Iyanla. I'm saying
that's what I'm saying. They don't feel that they don't need Iyanla after I'm making this money.
No, you talking about the crew. I'm talking about Leandria.
I'm talking about people. Period. In show business, you making 500,000. Why I need to be your Iyanla to fix my life
yourself? Usually you gonna go to a real
place. Usually when they on Iyanla, it's because they on they down. Mm-hmm. They on cloud 9. No, they ain't on cloud 9 on Iyanla. Nah, they ain't top 5 in Billboard.
Y'all know what I'm saying.
Chris, you can say Chris Brown and Kanye have all tumultuous lives, but they ain't on Iyanla.
But
because they all right.
They need to be.
They need to be. But
that's all I'm saying.
Oh, of course they need to be.
That's what I'm saying.
But you making that money. Iyanla ain't even in the what?
You ain't thinking about it. Yeah.
Give her 500,000 just to shut up. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? That's what money do might be.
I wouldn't know.
And I wouldn't know either. I'm lying.
Don't try to go back to your notes like you about to pick something else up.
No, I ain't got nothing. I done said my piece. I ain't got nothing else. If you had more,
no.
I'm ready to bow quick. You the one that I'm trying to go with the monologue.
Do something about this cough.
All we know is she is an alcoholic.
And part 2 is next week.
And part 2 is next week. Might be your turn.
Peace.
Oh, that's all you got?
We ending this. Well, I don't know what you keep talking about.
I thought you had,
I said don't go back. No.
Oh, okay. Peace.